have Jill Jackson here today to do a swipe experiment with you. In pour painting, there are many different ways to do a swipe. I thought it would be fun to explore 3 of my favorites. Let's get started. I have 3 canvases here. Each one has been primed. I just use a spray primer, whatever one I happen to find at a big box store. I've put each canvas up on some cups that I reuse again and again. I like to check the canvases to make sure that they're level. If they're not, you can adjust with a popsicle stick, a piece of cardboard, whatever you can find. I like to make sure that it's level both ways. You don't want that paint sliding off. For this first swipe, I thought we'd go ahead and try a paper towel swipe, a damp paper towel. So let's go ahead and fill up our canvas with color. I've got my paints mixed up, and they are 1/3 paint, 2/3 Floetrol. You can pick up Floetrol at a big box store. Floetrol is a paint extender. That's what makes all the good things happen here. A great tip, if you have some house paint laying around, you can go ahead and use that. Here is actually some Benjamin Moore house paint that I have mixed up with my Floetrol. You can see how beautiful and rich that color is. It has been out in my garage for years. I'm actually surprised it's not lumpy. Let's throw some metallics in. Metallics don't always show up when you first put them down, but they sure will when the painting is dry. Let's see, throw in some gold. Some people like to pour a swipe in stripes. I like to kind of go with random patterns. I think that's kind of fun. For this first swipe, what we're going to do is pull the paper towel over. We're going to fill up the canvas with our paint. Then we're going to pull the paper towel over. We will use a swipe color. Let's throw some wild colors together. Alright, we're just about ready to swipe. I put black in about every painting that I do, same with white. Even if I'm going to use it as a swipe color, I like to put a little bit in. When I'm talking about a swipe color, I'll show you just what I mean in a minute. Let's use black on one side and white on the other. Let's do a double swipe. Now when I'm talking about using a swipe color, what I'm talking about is pouring this color right here on the edge of the canvas. I have a black and a white, and I'll show you what that's all about. What we're going to do is actually take a paper towel, and we're going to dampen it, and we're going to swipe across our canvas, pulling that black paint all the way through the paint across, and then I'm going to do a double swipe and pull that white back across. I can see that I may need to add a little bit more. So I have my paper towel here. I've got a spray bottle full of water. I'm going to go ahead and spray my towel. I just want this to be damp. I have tried this with a dry paper towel, not had the same results. I think that the dry towel is just not heavy enough. Here is my wet paper towel. I'm going to put it right here in the black. And I am going to ever so gently just pull this across the paint. There we go. That is interesting. See some cells popping up there. Let's prepare a second paper towel so that we can do that white swipe back. I think that's going to make things a little bit more interesting. I'm going to spray down my paper towel. A little white down here at this other side. I think I may have come down a bit too heavy going across that first swipe. Get a good bit of white here. And here we go, I'll go from this side. I'm going to try, I went over the edge the last time. I believe that was my mistake. I'm going to carefully put my paper towel into the white paint and pull it back. Missed. I made a bit of a mess on the floor, but that's alright. Now this is crazy, but because I messed up that first swipe, I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to try and go for this third one. I'm going to put some black there, and I'm going to do a third swipe. If everything turns to mud, well, we'll start again. We'll let the canvas dry, we'll give it a spray prime, and we'll paint right over it. Just a quick spritz with some plain water. Be careful not to come over the edge this time. I will again place my paper towel into the black paint and pull it all the way up. One clean motion. So we'll watch those cells come up for just a minute. Let me grab my torch. All right, what I've got here, I've got a Scripto torch flame. You can pick these up at most of your big box stores or order them online. I'm going to give this a quick torch, just going over it. That's going to pop any bubbles that are in here, and it's going to bring up any cells that may be lurking right under the surface. All right, so that's pretty. I like what's happening there. I have a feeling this is going to change over the next few minutes. Let's let this one sit here. That's the paper towel swipe. Canvas number 2 in the great swipe experiment. For this, we're going to start the same way. Let's go ahead and pour this one in stripes just for interest. We're going to swipe with some children's foam, crafting foam. This is really fun. This is something that I came up with a few weeks ago, looking for something that was fairly firm to swipe with, but that I could go ahead and wash off and use again. It's light enough to be able to swipe the paint just so lightly, but it is tough enough to be reused. So that's something that I find very interesting. Let's really mix this up, make this bright, fun. No particular order. I am just grabbing paint colors that I like. That's a little thick. That's all right. Let's throw in some fun blues. How about some orange? Let's go crazy. Little rose gold. Throw in some silver. And for this one, let's just go ahead and swipe this, I'm thinking, with white. White paint mix and reporting for duty. Here we go. Let's give it a nice swipe of white down along this side. And then we will get our craft foam. This is available. It's usually less than $1 a sheet. Just at a big box store, Michael's Crafts, anything like that. And just as the paper towel, put this down right here in our white. And just barely kissing the canvas, pull this straight across. I missed, and that's okay. There we go. Let me get this wiped off, and we will try again. Let me pull this again. It works really well. And one of the big pluses of using the kids' foam is that it can be used again and again. All right, let's give this a torch and see how the cells come up. Look at what has been happening to our first painting while we were over there. More cells coming up, shifting around, doing its own thing. So here we have the paper towel swipe. Here we have the craft foam swipe. Let's move on to our third and final canvas. We will use a large offset spatula to do the swipe. So let's go crazy and make a really fun design here. This is actually my favorite way of swiping. It definitely takes the most courage to do. You just have to remember that you're just barely touching that canvas. Now this particular technique, I call this the clean swipe. And what I mean by clean swipe, in the first two paintings that we did, we used a black, a white, or a black and white to swipe across the paint colors. In a clean swipe, I'm not going to use a particular paint color to pull across the paint. I'm going to pull from whatever color I happen to be at. Let me go the long way here so that you can really see what it is I'm doing. I don't like to go in a straight line. You can if you like. I like to give it a little bit of interest and go at a little bit of a jaunt. Now as I pull the paint off, I'll go ahead and put it where there's no paint, maybe on the sides. And I do like to clean off my palette knife in between. So let's start again. This paint's a little thin over here. I'm going to rock it back just a little bit, and then I'm going to start on my merry way. I do crazy things like that, again, just to add a little interest, make it just a little bit different. Let me put that on the side. Let's clean off again. Let's try one from this side. I like what's happening over here, so let me take this. I love to use this leftover paint on the side. You can pull it up from the table. Sometimes the sides on these paintings are just better than the painting itself. Wow, I really like what's happening here. The cells are coming up beautifully. I like this. Now, even though I said I was going to do this with my large offset spatula, I'll be right back with my small one. This is my miniature offset spatula. It's pretty much the same as the other one. I like to use this. I really like the cells and colors that are coming up here, but there's a few areas that I didn't hit that I'd like to go over. When you're pour painting, there are no rules here. You don't have to start at a side. It's the easiest way to start and a good place to get some practice. But let's go ahead and start one over here, just right in this gold. Chance to see what happens. Wipe off our spatula or palette knife. Let me take some of this white and pull it across here. Again, I'm going to kind of go up into this and try and give it just a little bit more interest. I think that you're starting to see why this is my favorite method of swiping. I think you really end up with some really very fabulous results. Let's go ahead and give this a quick torching with our lighter. Well, I think this is looking pretty spectacular here. Even I'm a little bit impressed with this one. We will come back to it in just a minute. Let's go ahead and go back to the original paintings too, because I can't wait for you to see them. I'll go ahead and get my good camera and I'll be right back. Well, I think we've done 3 very interesting swipes today. We have the damp paper towel swipe, that we did a double swipe, both with a black and white swipe color. We have the kids foam swipe that you can reuse again and again. And we also have the offset spatula or palette knife swipe. Which one is your favorite? Please let us know in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you like what you've seen here. Please remember that there's plenty more at sisterearth.net. Happy creating!